It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News. Saturday morning, the 26th day of September 2020. Just a shocking morning. Breaking news here at for the Travel and Cruise Industry News. Amy is in the house already. Shocking. So, Amy, we're glad you're here. Tom's here, of course. Everybody else by now. So anyway, just thought I'd point that out. I tell you what, folks, the big news of the day, and I'm going to share it right off the top. The big news of the day is this. That's the CDC weather map. Nada. It even says not expected, tropical cyclone activity not expected during the next 48 hours. I haven't seen that for months now. Nothing on the weather map. That's cool. So we don't have to talk about weather today. So, yeah, actually the only story today, everybody in the world is waiting in breathless anticipation for the CDC. And actually, folks, they got it all wrong. You don't want the CDC to say anything. You want them to say nothing, because that would mean that the no sale date expires, which it's set to do on the 30th. So if they say nothing, that means the no sale orders expired and the cruise ships can start going. Now, I doubt that's going to happen because I think they will probably extend the order I'm thinking for 30 days. So they have a chance to go over all the recommendations and all that business. That's my guess. And I don't have any kind of inside notes. I don't have any kind of source. That's purely my guess. But that would give them a chance to go over those 7,000 or whatever the hell it was comments that they had. And, of course, the proposals from the major cruise lines. So I don't think they're just going to let that order expire come the 30th for that very reason that all of a sudden ships could jump in and start cruising. And I think they at least will issue some type of guidelines before they actually give the green light to cruising. However, once that thing expires, once they let that go, then they don't have it. They've lost control. So they're going to have to do something. It's not likely that they'll let it go, but I think it's funny that everybody in the world is sitting back and waiting to see what CDC says when really what they really want is for the CDC to say nothing. So, but that's not going to happen. Now, the guidelines probably are going to cover a couple of the things that we've seen in the MSC and Costa Cruise sailings, and that were the major points in the entry into the CDC recommendations by the major cruise lines, which were two-headed. You had Royal Caribbean and Norwegian that went together, and then you had CLIA that represents all of them, and Carnival going together, and they did two separate things. But basically the main things is that everybody's going to have to be tested to get on a cruise ship. No excuse. All the crew, all the passengers, you got to pass a test to get on a cruise ship. There will be mask mandated. It will be required in all the public areas when you check in and check out, when you go on excursions, all that business. You're going to have to wear a mask. If you don't want to wear a mask, folks, don't go on a cruise anytime soon until this is over with. Don't even think about it. They're going to have the distancing. Now, the cruise lines they've all taken steps to socially distance as much as they can. Many of them have cut down on the number of passengers they'll allow, at least for now. But you're going to have to follow the distancing regulations. They have done some improvements on the ventilation system throughout the whole industry to improve the air quality. They've improved their medical capabilities. Again, that's industry-wide. And, of course, the shore excursion deal, as you're only going to be able to go on shore excursions that are cruise line excursions, which is going to rule out all the things like I said on Thursday, my going into Senior Frogs and having a drink and lunch, and you can't do that anymore unless they come up with excursions from the ships that go to some of those local places without going to a bunch of other things and make them expensive as crap. But you're going to do it exactly the way the cruise line says, or you're going to get kicked off the boat. And wherever you are. I mean, they're not going to take you to another port. They're not going to let you back on the ship, period. So, and if you don't like any of that, don't plan on going on a cruise. Now, the rest of us that want to go on cruises are going to be willing to do that, or we won't go. Of course, my position on it is, as I've said ad nauseum, is, we got to get the rapid testing. That way I would feel a lot more comfortable in going through the grief that I have to get to go to a cruise, to get to a boat, to get on it. Once I get on the ship, I'm okay. I'm not at all worried about the ship once I'm on it. I'm worried about getting there. But that's me. So that's what's going to happen. So basically, folks, if CDC says nothing, then some of the cruise lines can start. Our friends down at Bahamas Paradise, they're just waiting. Now they've got a date set ahead. Most of the dates are a month out yet. They're looking closer toward the 1st of November, which that's what I'm figuring the CDC is going to do. They're going to go on, since most of them have said November 1st. They're going to wait the additional month. They're going to extend it that long so they can review everything and come up with their guidelines. And they're going to issue guidelines. But I think that's going to allow some cruises to start before this year is out, unless we just go through a horrendous worst month on spiking and stuff than we've gone through now. And of course, you got all the political crap that's going on with the whole thing over getting vaccination. That'll help in the end. I do think they're probably going to do something before the end of the year. Start something, because MSC and Costa have done it right and have been successful. My guess is that the CDC is going to crawl into this and allow, with the new regulations, with the new protocols, is going to start allowing some cruises to start. They might put some limits on how many. Who knows? They might put some limits on what ports to use to start off with. It could be any number of things. I do think they're going to have to do something. They're not just going to come out and remove it and say, go. That's not in the cards, I don't think, anytime soon. I think we're going to crawl into this. We're going to go slowly, and everybody's going to go along with it and see if we can't do what MSC and Costa's done. That's just my take on it. So, actually, there's absolutely no other news today. There's no weather, and that's a non-starter, and there's nothing yet from the CDC. So basically, that's nothing. That's it. There's nothing else. So I get a break for a change. Okay. couple things we got coming up here shortly. Of course, we've got the cocktail party this afternoon. Allison, our friend Allison from Scotland is going to handle the cocktail party today because Kim has been sick and she was in the hospital and so forth out in Oregon. Kim is doing a lot better. She'll probably be in the cocktail party today, but we're not going to make her handle it just in case she's not feeling that well. But anyway, I wouldn't be surprised if she's not there today. I've talked to her a couple times now. But we got the cocktail party this afternoon. Tomorrow on Cruise Amigos live from London, we are supposed to have Patrick Mitchell from Rude Boy Distillery, which is a Jamaican rum and vodka distiller. And I'm going to be perfectly honest, we have some difficulty so far in getting contact made with Patrick on getting our test for the stream and camera and mic and all that business. We're assuming the show is a go tomorrow, but Pete and I have both had a difficult time getting hold of him to get things set up. So, but we're going to go ahead like we are doing the show tomorrow. And if something happens, he's not there, then so be it. We'll, do a song and dance for a few minutes and call it a day. Or maybe we'll get somebody else to throw up some slides and we'll talk about a trip someplace like Allison down in Aruba, and we'll come up with something. Might do some negotiating in the cocktail party today in case we have problems for tomorrow. All right. Next week, the Cruise Amigos live from London is going to be our friend Nate Villiers, who we've talked to before from Alaska. He'll be on Sunday, a week from this Sunday, and we're going to talk about the CDC regulations and proposals and so forth and how it affects things in Alaska. So that could be an interesting show for those of you that like Alaska and like going up there, whether it's cruise or not cruise. But anyway, so we're going to talk to Nate again about Alaska. And then Thursday this week at 9:00 in the morning, my time. So that's 9 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is 8 a.m. Central Daylight Time, which is whatever time it is in London, and 4 in Greece, 4 p.m. Anyway, it's 9:00 Eastern Daylight Time. That's the only one I can keep straight. We're going to have a Cruise Amigos live from Virginia. I realize that's early in the morning for some of you folks, with Variety Cruises out of Athens, Greece. We're actually going to have 2 guests on the show that day. We're going to have Konstantin Vinopoulos, who is the Director of Communications, and we're going to have Malvina, and I have no idea what Malvina's last name is. It was the Vice President of Sales and Marketing. And we're going to talk about Variety Cruises, which is Greek Islands cruise ship. They have like the Galileo, which is a 3-masted schooner. They're small ships, yacht-style cruises, and I'm finding a lot of interest and fascination in cruising, this style of cruising, which I have never done, but I'm seeing a lot of interest in it now. So it's going to be an interesting show. It's a kind of a little plus for doing live shows from Virginia to have a show actually out of Greece and they wanted to be on the show. So we're going to do it at 9:00 in the morning, my time. Going to make John get out of bed at 8:00 his time up there in Minnesota. And of course, Pete's in the middle of the afternoon. He'll have a glass of wine, but it'll be too early for me for bourbon. But anyway, that's Thursday. So Thursday this morning, and you guys know my schedule on Thursday. I'm going to do the live show with Variety Cruises and take one hat off and put another hat on and come right on this show and do our travel and cruise industry news right after we do the interview. So it'll be Thursday. Will be a busy morning for the fat guy. So, all right, let's go over and see who's here other than Amy and Tom, who we know Amy and Tom are here. Jason's with us. Jason, you're up on a Saturday morning. That's nice to see. We are sailing soon. I'm telling you, I've come completely around now. I think we're going to see something from the United States before the end of the year. And I didn't think that for a long time. And I'm not entirely sure it's the right thing to do with the problems we still have in this country and the lack of the quick tests. I mean, I still think that's got to be done and we got to get there with it. But I think we might see something before the end of the year. So, and of course, Jason, that's putting you in an awfully good shape for January. So, Tom says, I feel more positive about Florida ports than my New York cruise. I would feel safer going out of New York, but I can't get to New York right now. Neither can Tom. Because we're in Virginia. We're not allowed to go to New York yet. That might change, Tom, because I don't know if you noticed it or not, but Virginia turned green on the map for the first time today. So if that holds up for the next couple of days, we might just get pulled off the New York list this week or next, which would be a good sign. Florida, he's, despite their number, and the numbers in Florida have gotten better in areas, but it's still way up. But now he's opening, the governor there is opening all the bars and restaurants to 100% capacity. That may be a mistake. I understand the economic aspect of it. We're just going to have to see what that does to the numbers in Florida. I would feel a lot better about cruising out of Florida if we had the rapid testing. If that's in place with the airline and the bus company that gets you from the airport to the cruise ship, okay, I'd feel comfortable doing it. I'm still worried about that part of it. I want to see that rapid test again implemented and working, whichever one they use. Who is it? United is using it now, and so far so good on that. So if Tom asks, will Florida explode again? Yeah. So we'll see. Park West is mailing them a test kit. Oh, that's interesting. That's that thing you're going to in DC, I think. So they're sending you a test kit so you can test before you go up there. Awesome. Tom says, I hope the group at the Park West event October 8 to 11 is small so we can space out. Yeah. A senior frog excursion certainly sounds good, like a good option. Man, I tell you what, if they would do that, way back when, I'm going back in the late 70s, early 80s, they would do a little excursion like that. You get 10 or 20 people together, and they'd have a little a bus or a big van, and they take you like maybe one or two or three places around town, and it was $20 or something. It was but it would go to a Senior Frogs or to a Margaritaville or a bar like that, that's what I've ended up doing. 90% of my excursions, that's what I've done on my own. Yeah, I've done a few excursions along the way over the year. I've done so many cruises. I've done a little bit of everything. But the 90% of the time, I get off the boat and I'll go to a Senior Frogs or a Margaritaville, or like in Cozumel, that's Albertsons. I think it starts with an A. That's right straight across the street at the end of the pier there. Have a cocktail, have lunch, maybe go to one of the t-shirt places and buy a t-shirt. So I end up with all these t-shirts. I buy them on cruises. So yeah, if they would do an excursion like that, low price, yeah, that would help the economy in the port too. So that's another thing we're going to be talking about, is the economy in the ports. So low cost or free, the ship reserves the entire place. Yeah, they could do that. They could make a deal. Have cleaning protocols in place and say, okay, we're going to bus people over here to Senior Frogs. And if they have some entertainment or a band or whatever, and that would be terrific. Absolutely terrific. Could be a covered charge type fee. Yeah. Cover your transportation, cover charge, go in. I'd be great. Absolutely great. Drive to the port, Chillie. Well, yeah, that's a possibility, I admit. And that would be the absolute safest, because then I'm still in control of my environment until I get there and can go straight on the boat. Not bad. And folks, my calling cruise ships boats, that's just me. I'm not doing that from an insulting standpoint. Somebody said, oh, we're upset at you because you call them a boat. Yeah, well, I'll just call it a boat. It's a cruise ship. I love them. I still call it a boat. Jordan Blue. Chillie, what's the news on buffets on the ships? Are they history? They are history. I think some of the cruise lines have not said specifically yet what specifically about buffets, but it looks like from the standpoint of you serving yourself, that's done. They're going to have people to serve for you. The buffet itself, because that's a major amount of space on every cruise ship, the buffet will still be serving food. It's going to probably be served to you in some form or fashion, but you're not going to reach in and serve yourself like we've always done in the past. That part's going to change. And by the way, Jordan, welcome aboard. Glad to have you visit the show. You'll see that everybody in the audience here chats back and forth all the time. They pay no attention to me whatsoever. They just talk to themselves. That's cool. We like that. Tom says, Tom's going back and forth with Jason. I had an 18-day Dubai to Athens cruise, February 23. After Cape Town to Dubai, 36 days on Jade. That's awesome. That's awesome. Jason says to Jordan to watch the MSC videos. You'll see them serving. Yeah, and I talked to it was one of Sue Bryant, one of the Cruise Amigos shows. She had some pictures how they were served. But it's going to happen. That's going to be part of all the new protocols when they actually come out and say it's going to be. We know it as a buffet, but it's not going to be a serve yourself buffet like it's always been. Cafeteria style serving. Yeah. Tom says, cruise stocks are up. I want to get somebody, and I've asked Bruce because I know he knows a little bit about it, and he's got his stock channel now, and I haven't heard from him. I want to get somebody to interview. Maybe I need to go away from the cruise world and get a stockbroker or somebody about stocks. I don't understand how the cruise lines stocks haven't tanked. And I know Tom and Jason, I know both of you guys bought the same day, and you tried to get me to buy, and I didn't. And you guys have done well with them. My logic, and maybe it's just that I'm dumb as a brick, which I admit to. I have no idea how the cruise line stocks are up. None. Once they start sailing again and start income coming in, fine. But they got to make up for how long has it been now? 7, 8 months, and they're going to start slow. Number one, they got to get crew back. Now, I understand that emails have gone out to non-essential crew members to be ready. So there's a movement, underlying movement afloat to get things back. It's one of the other signs that I see that we're going to see something, in the next 30 days or so. Something, I don't know what, but we're going to see something. So one of the things that I also want to ask about when we talk to the Greek Islands folks on Thursday is how is a small line like that handling excursions? A little small group, even though you got a lot fewer people, I understand that element of it, but they're clearly not being able to keep their passengers in a bubble on an excursion. It would be too much to expect from a small outfit, which a bigger outfit like a Carnival or an MSC or one of those. I mean, they can make the demands, and the people have to go along with it. I'm going to say how a small line, and of course that's the Greek islands and not dealing with the CDC in the U.S., but still, maybe they've got some thoughts on it. So it's going to be one of the questions that we'll put forth. But that's clearly going to be in the list of questions. Let's see what we got here. Tom Henry's talking about the Israel, Greece, Suez Canal, a bunch of bucket list items that he's going through. The fat guy's busy. Yeah, a little bit. Where's Emily? By the way, if you guys, for those of you that watched the show yesterday with Emily, we had so much fun. And I'm the first one to admit we made fun of Emily and teased Emily just awful. We were terrible about her kayaking and paddleboarding, and it was terrific fun, and it was done in fun. So we certainly weren't doing anything to hurt Emily's feelings. We love Emily to death, but it was just a fun show to do yesterday and share some of Emily's kayaking and paddleboarding and acting a little silly. It was a nice break from everything serious. And some of it admittedly was at Emily's expense. And thank goodness. She was just terrific. And Gretchen's not here either today. That's right, guys. Nikki's here. There's Nikki. Amy's booked on Carnival Horizon, 4th of February. Awesome. That cruise is no longer showing up on Carnival website for booking. Is that one of them that they've moved? I don't remember Horizon being one that's moved. Hang on a minute. I've got it right here that I can pull up on the other computer. Let me see what it says on my stuff on Carnival Horizon. And what did you say? February 4th? February 6th. 4th, February 6th. Oh, it's February 6th out of Miami. It's sold out. That's why. Huh. The cruise is showing. So come on, tongue. That cruise is showing sold out, which means probably that how many ever passengers they're allowing on that is done. But you're already booked on it, Amy. That's cool. You're in good shape on that one, and I think you're going to definitely. I think by then we're probably going to be in, unless something horrible happens, we're going to maybe be sailing pretty widely by February. I'm hoping. Jason says, "Chillie, you can travel, you'll be fine." Oh, I know. And I'm getting to the point where I want to get the hell going too. I mean, I've got to do it safely because of my situation here in the household, but I'm ready to go too. Goodness gracious. Jen and I booked the excursions from Carnival today. That's the other thing. Have the excursions on Carnival, Jason, changed? Have they added more excursions, or did you look and maybe you haven't even noticed that? But see if they are adding excursions on, because I feel certain that it's going to be just like it was with MSC. You go on their excursion, you're going to be a total bubble. You can do only what they say you can do and with whom you can do it, and then you get back on the boat. Looks to me the way it's going to be. So, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see if it was like $200 total for everything. Well, that's not bad. So they weren't overly expensive. That's a good thing. So what I'm gonna start doing once I get, you guys know that I've got to go through and virtually redo my entire website because I've lost the income stream for excursions. I know for at least 18 months or so, the Viator of the world that I represented, they're going to be able to do nothing with the cruise lines because the cruise ships are going to do their own excursions and they're going to control it. So what I was representing literally to everybody is done. So that's an income stream that's just completely erased. So I'm going through all all my website and taking down the links to excursions. I've taken down the ads for Viator on the website. There's no sense in me having them out there and they're being dead. There'd be no sense in it. So I'm about 60% through the website. So then when I get done with that, which is going to be another couple days, because I can't do it, I can't sit here, 90 hours a day and do that stuff. My brain won't take it, and neither will my back, my knee. What I was thinking about doing, because I have on my schedule of stuff that I had to do. You think I'm kidding? I've got a schedule here of things that I had to do. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 5 ports of call that I'm scheduled to do videos about, something in the port, which it could be just like a restaurant, for instance, if I had a good restaurant there, or it could be a tour, or it could be a hop on, hop off bus time. Be just something, a little video from the port. Well, now that's not kind of on hold until I'm going to have to do that to coincide with the cruise line. So especially if you got in a port like Ensenada, for instance, there's several. Carnival goes in there, but there's several other lines that go into Ensenada. So I've got to further research to see what excursions are available on the cruise lines that stay at a specific port before I come up with whatever I'm going to do in the way of doing videos for those ports. It's a pain in the, never mind. But anyway, So that's another income stream is just it's just gone. Yeah, it's not going to be there for a while. So, there's Sonny. Sonny's with us today. NCL now has 22 and 23 open for some cruises. Yeah, and they've done some redeployment too. I was looking over that. There's not anything earth-shattering in that. And yeah, they've expanded now their schedule into up to April of 23, like Carnival has already done theirs. Tom Henry says, Sonny, I need 24. He's already done booking 23, I guess. Because Tom's got about 19 cruises booked. Nikki says, Jason, I hope your cruise is a go. I think it's going to be. I really do. And I have, Jason and I've talked numerous times about this, and I've come 360 degrees. I went from saying it's not going to happen. You're not going to go to now. I'm thinking that's Jason's is going to go first week in January or whatever it is. Sonny says, Tom, you're filled up to the end. Lucky. Nikki's, there's Gretchen. Pee-wee football, you won. Hey, congratulations, Gretchen. Glad you got out there and played football today. I hope you didn't tackle anybody. I'm sure that's the grandson's pee-wee football team. That's neither here nor there. Sonny says, Pee-wee football and soccer is so much fun. Yeah, as long as you don't get tasered for not wearing a mask. Did you see that one where some woman was sitting at the stands of a Pee-wee football game and refused to put a mask on and they tasered her or something? Oh, my God. Just wear your mask, people. Don't take a chance on getting tasered. Tom Henry, Bruce feels that they are overpriced too, so you are in agreement with him on the cruise stocks. It doesn't that I think it's overpriced. It's just I don't understand it. You say they're going broke until we can get things going again. Yeah, they've done all kinds of things to raise money, but they got to pay that back. So I don't know. I'm just not smart enough to understand it. And thank God I got somebody that makes those decisions for me. I don't. He calls and my broker, financial planner, whatever you call him, he calls and says, you got such and such coming due. Do you want to read? I said, you do whatever you want to do, man. I'm happy with what you're doing. I'm happy with the returns I'm getting. You just do your thing. You don't have to ask me. I don't care. Do it. Better than me making decisions, because if I make decisions, it'd be the wrong one. I promise you that. Jason says, yeah, Gretchen's here. F&C Travel. That's my little company. But somebody asked about that. I missed the question. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Jason, for keeping me straight. So, all right. Anybody, Bruce was complaining about his numbers. I wish I had 60,000 or whatever the hell numbers it is. I'd love to be in a situation he's in. And I've watched his videos now on how he got there. And it's still just it boggles my mind that in this amount of time, he's able to have grown that channel as much as he has. That's just unbelievable. And yeah, and God bless him. He's making a couple grand a month from doing what he likes to do or more. I have no idea what he's making out with 60,000 people. I was up, before the pandemic hit, I was up to where, I was making $300, $350, maybe $400 a month from YouTube. And then when the pandemic hit, it went to hell. It's now I think I checked this morning, and this month I made $41 or something so far this month. I mean, the numbers are just awful. Well, and it's not so much my numbers haven't changed. My growth rate has not been what it was. YouTube keeps doing the crap where they're constantly changing subscriber counts, and it's generally down. But I mean, I'm still going up, but just not very fast. But the amount of advertising that they have and the revenues are way, way down. So I'm still not back up to what I was doing, pre-COVID, nowhere near it. So, I mean, it's not even to the point where I guaranteed that I get a check every month because there's $100 limit. I didn't last month get a check. Now, so I was $4 or $5 short. So this month, even if I, make $50-$60 on top of that, they'll put me over the limit. So next month I'll get a check. But yeah, it's Bruce complaining about his numbers. Give me the 60,000 people. I won't complain about it. But that's okay. Everybody's circumstances are different. It's not the end of the world for me. It would be nice to do that. And I hope someday that I have thousands of people going. And, I'm looking at it's with losing the income stream. I've got to look at it, finding another income stream without being obnoxious about it. I don't want to be begging for money, folks. I'm not going to do that. If I can do things that make some money for the channel, great. Maybe t-shirts and things like that, like Bruce's Redbubble store or something like that I can low-key promote. Okay. Just like I did with the Viator, representing Viator. I wasn't hammering you guys about that. The Scoot Around, I represent Scoot Around. I ran that commercial there forever. But that was actually twofold. One, to give me a break from running my mouth for 30 seconds, let me clear my throat and take a sip of Coke. But I tried not to do, I'm just not going to be obnoxious and beg for money. I appreciate it. Like when you guys give me the super chat thingies, that's terrific. I love it. I mean, it's fabulous. I'm not going to sit back here and beg you to do that. If you want to, that's great. That's why it's there. And I appreciate every bit of it when I get it. It goes to supporting the channel. I'm not going to beg for money. It ain't going to happen, guys. So, not for me, because I'm not going to do that. All right. That's going to wrap me up for the weekend. Wasn't a whole lot of, sorry about this, not much news today, guys. So anyway, we'll see what happens. Oh, somebody just popped up with a with the super chat. So I just saw that come in. Who was that? Oh, that's Jason. Thank you, Jason. I do appreciate that. I really do. And that goes to good, that helps pay the bills and all the stuff I do to keep the channel going. So thank you very much, Jason. You're a wonderful friend. And we're going to go on a cruise together one of these days. So I guarantee you. And yes, I know it'll be a Carnival cruise. That's okay too. So, all right, Chillie, everyone can use t-shirts. Chillie wants to cruise. COVID said, that's, I'm thinking seriously about that, Sonny. I don't know. I just have never gone that route. I buy shirts all the time. I was thinking about it, coming up with a monthly shirt. This month's shirt is such and such. And, I don't know. We'll play with that. We'll see. Anyway, guys. All right. You guys have a great weekend. As always, folks, stay safe. Wear your masks, socially distance, wash your hands, no matter what you keep hearing about that doesn't do the good. And that's the only thing we got for now until we get a vaccine that's proven to be good And until we get the rapid testing, it's all we got to do is wear masks and stay away from people as much as we can. So y'all do that. Stay safe, stay healthy. If you're new to the channel, I didn't even say that. We appreciate thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, hit that little subscribe button and the bell notification so you'll know when I go live or post a new video. So that's it for the weekend. You guys have a great weekend. We'll see you at the cocktail party. We'll see you for a Cruise Amigos live from London tomorrow. I'll see you back here again on Tuesday. Have a great weekend, y'all. Thanks for being with me. Thanks for being with me. Later, y'all. What am I doing? There it is.
Thank you for watching today's travel and cruise industry news. Join us every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern for another episode. Travel and Cruise Industry News is a production of Chillie's Cruises.